Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, 82 years old on my morning e-trike ride. It's a little breezy, so I hope this works out okay. It's gotta work out okay, because I'm only gonna tell this story once. It's Saturday morning, and I'm gonna try to review this past week for you. Pardon me. It's been quite a week, if I can just remember it all. And I don't want to waste any time, so let's just get started. Tuesday morning, I had a doctor's appointment. It's one of those appointments you go to like once a year, where they ask you to spell the word world backwards. You know, D-L-R-O-W. And draw a five-sided square over the top of another five-sided square that looks like a five-sided square that's printed on the paper. Well, I told them I couldn't spell the world backwards, so they said okay. I don't know, maybe somebody come to my door one of these days from the government and tell me to spell the word world frontwards and see if I can do that. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the kind of appointment it was. And then they wanted me to come back to do a blood draw, but I had to fast before I could do that. So we decided we'd do it. That was Tuesday, so we decided we'd do it on Wednesday. But I had to do it, I couldn't have breakfast. And they said, don't come early because there's a big, huge line of people. So come like after 9 o'clock. So we decided, okay, we'll come at 10 o'clock. So we waited around. Well, while we were waiting at home, this trike, I had two fat tires on the back, but had never got around to putting a fat tire on the front. So while we were waiting, my son suggested we take time to put a fat tire on the front. And so between time I got up, I usually get up around 5 or maybe sometimes before. So he got up, and so then, around 9 o'clock or whatever, we took the front tire off the trike, took it in his shop, and he's so fast to working at everything. But the thing is I don't know if you've ever heard of flat out, but I heard about it, and I thought, I'm going to try that. So I put that in my tires instead of using slime. I've always used slime, and it works pretty good. So I put a lot of flat out in everything. Well, flat out, don't use it for your trike. It might be good for trucks and cars, stuff like that, but it works so well that if you try to let air out of the valve, it says, nope, can't let any air out, and it plugs up the valve. That's not how it works. But anyway, I put too much in or something, and so we couldn't get any air out. So then we had to take wire cutters and just clip the valve off. and of course that ruined the inner tube. So that was okay. So we got the old tire off, and I had extra thick inner tubes that I was using, and so we put an extra thick inner tube on and put the 3-inch fat tire on, got it all done, put it on the trike, and it was all done, and that was really nice. So then it came time where I could go in we went in and had the blood draw, and then we went over. I had to go pick up my meds, and in the last video I made, I talked about going to the pharmacy and talk about what if we didn't have credit cards. That's where that was the pharmacy we went to when I was talking about that. So we went to the pharmacy and got my meds, went home, and my wife made me her famous, I love them, it's a sandwich. She mixes an egg, or 2 eggs, I guess, 2 eggs, and some cheese that would make a cheese sandwich with, She mixes it all together and puts it into a toasted sandwich for me. And I had my breakfast about 11 o'clock. And that was good. So then I decided, okay, I'm which tire was it? The right side tire, I had put that flat out in it, and I wasn't able to check the pressure in it because the flat out had that valve plug too. So I thought, and I had some extra thick inner tubes, so I decided, well, I'm going to take that inner tube out and put a new one in and get rid of that flat out. So that's what I did. Well, first of all, I wasn't thinking straight because I waited so long to have breakfast. And so what I did was I took the tire off of the trike. I laid the trike on its side, took the tire off and took it into my son's shop. And I was going to go ahead and do what we did. And I looked at my watch, and by then it was about 3 o'clock, and that's time to go get my grandson at the school bus stop. And what I do is I drive I can't drive a car, but I drive the golf cart. It's about 2.25 miles to the bus stop, and I pick him up and bring him home, and then I can go back to work. And while I was sitting at the bus stop, I was thinking, you're really messed up today. You don't have to take the tire off the trike on the back wheels. You can just work on it on the trike. So I got my grandson, took him home, and I took the tire out of my son's shop. Fortunately, he hadn't been in the shop that time. He was doing something else, and so I was able to sneak it back out of the shop without him knowing I had done that. so he didn't think so poorly of me. And so I put it back on the trike. And then I started removing the tire. And of course the same thing was true. I couldn't get the air out of the inner tube, so I had to use the wire cutters and clip the valve off, and then I could get the tire off the rim. And then I took everything off and inspected the tire on the inside, made sure there was no residue from anything. I can't remember now why I did that, but anyway, so I cleaned it all out, and then I got my new inner tube. Extra thick inner tubes, by the way. That's what I use now. And so, and put it. I got it all together. And as I was putting it on the, rim, I got the lower part on. And then I put a little air into it. And as I was putting it on, the lower part popped off again. So it was just one of those days, And so it seemed like forever to get that tire mounted on the rim and blown up and working, which finally I did. I got it all on there and got it fixed. And so then got that done, and I don't remember what time of day it was, but I had my trike up and running, and that's when I decided I would go make the video where I talked about the credit cards. And so I got everything. Now this was Wednesday, because Tuesday is when I went to the doctor. So this was Wednesday. So I made the video, and then I decided I'd finish the bike ride. Well, as I was going along, I came around. Now I'm going to put a little clip in here and show you what a lot of times when I'm doing my videos and I come along next to this very busy highway, I go by really fast. I put it on high speed, but I'm going to just show you what happens. There's there's been 3 roads that we could take. The upper road, the first road next to the canal, is the one that's got all the ruts in it, but it's a good road, nothing wrong with it. It's just hard to ride on a trike. And so and then the one below that is a smooth road, but it's the one that's got goat's heads in it. And last summer I got a flat tire riding on that road, so don't want to go on that road. But then now, for the last several weeks, they've had pavement right down next to the highway, but they have it blocked off from traffic. So that's what I've been riding on. It's been real convenient. So as I finished, as I came along, and I was finished making my video, I came down on near the busy road there, and I was planning on going on the pavement, but they've got that blocked off now because they're using it for traffic. And so I had to use either one of the canal roads. Well, I had seen that since last summer they had gone along with a torch and burned all the weeds where the goat heads had been. So I thought, well, I think I can probably just ride along there. So I was riding along and I was going just fine. And I got to a spot down near the end where there was a weed in the middle of the path that had not been burned. And so oh great, I thought. So then I went way up on the edge and went around it and was real careful and kept going. And then I got out of that area. And then I ride along a sidewalk, and then I go along and I get into I call it the dog bone area. It's a loop inside of an HOA, and it's a really nice area to ride. And so I get in that, and then circle around, and then I head on home. Well, so I'm riding along in that area, and all of a sudden, it's about 1.5 miles into that, or from where I went around the goat head part. I hear my left rear wheel squeaking, and I look down, and it's flat. And so I thought, oh great, there was still some goat heads in that path. Why did I ever take that path? So I pull over, and I got everything I need. I mean, I got my tire pump and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to pump up my tire and then get on home. Because, see, I'd gone about 1.5 miles before it actually went flat after hitting the goat heads. So I knew I could try to make it home. But the only thing is I've got this, what's called, I got to think of it for a second here. Temporal arteritis, and it's causing my vision to go dim. It's affecting my vision, I'll put it that way. So when I pull out my little pump, which has got a very dim screen, it's always been dim, but with a dim screen, and of course my camera picks it up just fine, but my eyes couldn't see the screen. And of course my grandson has been using it to pump up his basketball, and my son uses it to pump up the tires on the golf cart and everything. And so I don't know what it's set to. And so when I hook it up to my tire, and nothing happens when I hit the on. Well, I hit the on button to turn it on, but then nothing happens. So you can clearly see the settings, how you can change the settings. That's right, that's in black and white. But so I started going through the settings, and I hit this and that and this and that and this and that. I don't know, it seemed like it took forever. It probably took about 5 to 10 minutes before I finally got a setting that worked, and then it pumped up my tire. and so now it's, I don't know what time it is. I don't remember what time it was. But I pump up my tire and put it all together, and I head home. And so I get home, and now remember now, I picked up my grandson at 3 o'clock. I don't know what time it is now. And so I get home, and it's getting really hard for me to remember all the things that happened that day. And so I think we went over to my son's house. I don't remember all the details, but late in the day, I mean, it was like 8 o'clock at night or something. My wife and I, and I'm just bushed. And then I remember I tell my wife, I say, you know, no wonder I'm so tired. Only thing I've had to eat all day was that sandwich you made me this morning at 11 o'clock. So she cooks up something and I eat, and I go to bed. And so that was Wednesday. So Thursday, now it's not the end of the story. Thursday, I was just totally pooped, and so I didn't do anything Thursday except sit around and rest. Remember, this is Saturday, and so Friday I felt better, and I decided I'm gonna go for a ride. So I went on my regular ride, and so I come by the area there where and I stay on a good road. I don't go on the road with the goat heads, but I stay on the good road, even though it's got a lot of ups and downs and everything. So I stay on the good road, but then when I get down to where I can look down at the weeds with the goat heads, I don't have a really good, I want to get a picture of it so I can put it on the video. I don't know where all the traffic's coming from. Oh, by the way, I'm right. It's a little noisy, but now you can see the 3 roads. Okay? There's the paved road, and over to the right is the road with the goat heads. And way over on the other side, which we're going to see, we're going to turn around here. This is the road that doesn't have any goat heads in it. But we're going to head back this way. We're going to, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm fortunate to be able to remember, I guess. Okay, so Friday. We're up to Friday. Friday I go for a ride, and I get down by where the goat heads are, but I can't see them really well. So I go to the intersection, and I turn and I head back down the strip that has the goat heads, but I don't go down where the goat heads are. And here's some pictures. I stop and I get off the trike and I walk down by where the goat heads are, and I take some pictures. Okay? And then I get back on my trike and I go and I finish my ride. And I get home. And I'm at home and my day is finished. And I don't remember why. Oh, I think I was going to go. I take our trash bag out of the kitchen. I'm going to take it down and put it in the trash can. Boy, there's a lot of traffic. That's right. It's Saturday. So anyway, So I'm riding with the trash bag in the back, and my son says, "Hey, your front tire's flat." Guess what? I happen to have one more heavy-duty inner tube. My son takes my front tire off, takes it in the shop, changes my tire again. Here I am, riding my new trike. And by the way, I ordered a new pump, and it works great. And it's Saturday morning, and I'm feeling great. My memory still works, short-term, long-term. And by the way, I have a story to tell you about, I just remembered it, haven't told it to you, about an assignment I gave my high school students about throwing eggs. So if I forget to tell it to you, you remind me in the comments, all right? In the meantime, I'm going to thank you for watching my crazy videos. And I'm thankful that I can remember back 1 week. Thank you for watching, and God bless.